Cat and cow here. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you exhale, really reach the belly in. Inhale, open up through the heart. Try not to force through your neck, you guys. So as you're working through cat and cow and you're waving through, make the core strong. We've been working on that QL muscle in the back, so keep that strong. Right? You've been working on the side glute muscles, keep those strong. And now we're gonna work on those sitting bones and getting those open. So we'll stop in neutral position and you're gonna push your sitting bones apart. So it's gonna feel like the backs of your thighs are gonna move away from each other and the bottom of the hips open. So the belly is in. And you should feel nice and strong in your legs as you do this. Okay, and so you breathe deeply. So we'll extend the right leg along the ground and that left arm and lift. And you want to, with that leg lifted, you guys, you still want to feel like the backs of your thighs are moving away from each other, okay? So you feel like you're pulling. So your kneecap should not turn out to the side. Your kneecap is pointing straight down and you get that nice opposite arm, okay? So opposite arm. Switch that arm, Mr. Banzi. Leg is fine, switch your arm. You got it? For 3. I know, that other guy. 2. And then release that down. And again, push the backs of your thighs away from each other. Open up your sitting bones, hold the belly in, neck is long. And we'll take that left leg out and that right arm. So opposite arm from leg, and still feel like the backs of your legs are moving away from each other. So see if you can feel that. Sitting bones open, back legs straight and strong. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out, and slowly release that down and taking that right leg out to the side, and we'll rise up. So we're coming up into gate pose, so arms come out to the side, right leg is out. Awesome. So we're gonna make sure that the knee is in line with the arch of the foot. So if your foot is like too far forward or back, just try to reach that. And the sitting bones are gonna open, so you don't want the sitting bones toward each other and that sags your back. You're gonna pull the sitting bones and the backs of the thighs away from each other, lift. Now just a little side note here of your arms. You want the sides of your shoulder blades to lift up when you lift your arms. So lift your arms and let the sides of the shoulder blades lift up, even when you're in downward dog. So you don't want your shoulder blades down like that. You want to reach them and you're breathing deeply. Open up again and come over to that leg. Just get that nice reach and just warming up here. Now again, you try to draw the belly in and you try to keep that back muscle nice and strong. Backs of the legs pulling open, sitting bones pulling open, breathing in and breathing out. Extend up, open up through the arms and come over to the side, and the leg can stay down or you can lift it up. But again, we're just bringing the connection here. You're continuing with that QL muscle, continuing with the side glutes, and now adding backs of your thighs pull away from each other, sitting bones pull open. Breathing in, breathing out. Untense when you do that. So sometimes we're like, ugh, like trying to open, right? You want to relax. And see if you can bend that knee and just reach back and just get a quick little warm up there. Again, you still want sitting bones open, back strong, backs of thighs pull away from each other. Open up through hip and belly. Maybe let that neck open. Shoulders back. And then when you release, bring the knee down. And if you need a couple of cat and cows, you're going to go ahead and do that. Like if that, did a little something to your back that you need to open up. You're gonna go ahead and do that. All right, we'll come back into neutral, and when you're ready, left leg goes out to the side. We're opening up the hamstrings tonight, Noreen. Yeah. Get a little closer. You guys can come up closer. Come all the way up here.
Is that you, Noreen?
Shade, come on. Shade is over here if you want it. Noreen. This is becoming like a concert. Noreen!
I know, right? Remember those?
Don't want to know what you guys have in your coolers. All right, so lift up through here. No ideas. Pull the sitting bones open. Pull the backs of your thighs open. Keep your back muscle strong. So if you're doing all this stuff down here and that QL muscle is weak, you're going to be sagging in your back. So you really got to feel like you're sucking in here, supporting back hips, back ribs, while you open up the backs of your thighs and your sitting bones. Arms out to the side. You got it. Reach over to the side. Keep it all open. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Lift that outer shoulder blade. You guys want to keep lifting it up and out. Outer shoulder blade. Nice. Let's open up and bring that right hand down. Left arm up. and lift that leg. I didn't know what. All I heard was the squish, squish of the feet. Good. All right, so again, everything we're working on tonight. The QL muscle, sits bones, back of thighs. And you're welcome to stay there or grab your foot if you want to, right? Keep it all strong. Breathe in, breathe out. Back is strong. If you're doing a back bend, you're shortening your back muscles. If you're not, you keep it long and just open the hip. Beautiful. Bring the knee down and come back into downward dog. So you're gonna reach back. So this is kind of the start of the opening of your hamstrings, you guys, okay? So look at your kneecaps. Make sure your kneecaps do not roll in toward each other when you do this. Keep your kneecaps pointing in that center line direction. And move the outer shoulder blades away from your waist. Let them open and lift while the tops of your shoulders and collarbones wide. So unpinch your shoulder blades. Breathe in, breathe out. So you want to get nice length. Lift that right leg up to the sky, left heel down. And I want you guys to try to feel that left heel plug into the earth and keep pressing that left hamstring into an opening, okay? So you're trying to get that nice opening of that left hamstring. And we'll tuck the knee into the chest and squeeze the belly. Squeeze your tummy as much as you can. And then bring it back. Keep your back muscle nice and strong. Do that again, tuck it in. So you slide the shoulder blades into the back here on the sides. And then when you push back, you open those side shoulder blades. Okay, try a couple more. Ooh, that feels so good. That breeze. Press it back. We must be good, doing a good job. Tuck it in one more time. And press it back, all the way up and back, you guys. All right, you're gonna step that right foot forward, right next to your right thumb. And if you don't quite make it, just inch it up there, and ground through the back foot. Now you guys are gonna press down in this warrior one. And both hands are gonna go inside. Now you use the yoga block if you can't reach the ground. Now what you guys are doing is you're gonna bear into both feet, push the backs of your thighs away from each other, push your sitting bones open, keep the back muscles strong, and dive down with your chest. Dive down with your chest. Back leg straight, front knee bent, push the backs of your thighs away from each other, sitting bones open. Breathe in, breathe out. So your left sitting bone goes left, right sitting bone goes right. Come down a little bit more with that lower back. 2 and 1. And we'll rise up, come into that warrior one. So you're gonna come forward here, reach the arms up. Back leg nice and long and strong, come down into the hip. This is your stretch for your hamstring here. So you guys wanna come down? You want, again, the backs of the thighs to spin out, but the knees don't move. Sit bones open, back is strong, lift up. Bring the hands all the way back, open the chest, collar, and squeeze the outer shoulder blades down into the back. Breathe deeply. All right, let's release into plank. Step it all the way back into plank. From your plank position, you keep that back muscle strong, keep the core strong. You're gonna tip the side of your right hip down, side of your left hip down, but you wanna keep your waist super firm and just keep going right, left, right, left, right, left. And one more time, right and left. Hold it right into the center, come all the way down to the ground. Inhale, draw the chest up, just the chest. Squeeze those outer shoulders back and in, right? Bring it all the way in. And then release it down. And do that again. Just bring those outer shoulder blades in and down as you come up. Those elbows will come in. And then release. And we'll come into upward facing dog, so everything is in here. And we'll lift, lift, lift. When you're in up dog, you're gonna stay in up dog. You wanna pull the backs of your thighs away from each other. Just don't make your knees do anything weird, right? Pull your sitting bones open. It's gonna feel different as you lift. And as you exhale, you squeeze the belly and reach back. Lift the outer shoulders, outer shoulder blades, the outer edge of them, out while the tops of your shoulders are down. And press back into your hamstrings. So belly is in. Your weight is on the inside of your hands, so thumb and index finger side, so don't roll out. Keep those wrists nice and happy. And then you'll bring your left leg up to the sky, you guys. And you're focusing on that right leg hamstring work here. So again, leg is up, right heel plugged in. Feel that hamstring open. Now you understand that the thighs move away from each other, the backs of your thighs to get it open. Sitting bones wide to get it open. Your back is strong. Tuck your knee right into your chest, you guys, and squeeze your tummy. Like crush your belly. And then bring it back. Plug into that right heel. Try that again. Squeeze it in, squeeze your tummy. Outer shoulders down the back. And then lift them and open. So again, that scapula to move. Try 2 more. Squeeze it in. And bring it back. And 1 more time. Squeeze it in. And bring it back. And we'll step that foot right inside. Your left thumb, ground your back foot. So back foot is down. So your hands go to the inside, block or floor, and you're moving the backs of your thighs away from each other. And you're opening your sitting bones away from each other. So you might start by bending the back knee to do that, but then eventually back leg straightens. Come down with the lower back, chest, head, everything comes down. So your main focus is those sits bones open. You're breathing deeply and keep descending, keep coming on down. Back leg straight, back foot on the ground. Beautiful. All right, let's come on up to warrior 1. So we'll rise up. Back leg is still way back there. Sitting bones open, thighs open, kneecaps strong. So you never let the kneecap flop out when you're doing this, right? Or roll in. Keep it nice and strong. Back leg strong. Lift a little bit more and open back. And once again, bring the hands back. Let your neck relax. Back. Breathe in, breathe out. Spread open your chest. Nice. Let's release that down. Come into plank again. All right. So nice strong plank, you guys, and come all the way down to the ground. Elbows in. Outer edges of the shoulder blades move in and down into your pockets as you lift up. And they do the opposite as you go back into downward dog. So outer shoulder blades go away from the hips and lift back. Feet are hip width apart. Breathe in, breathe out. Now bend your knees and lift your sitting bones to the sky. Bend your knees and lift your sitting bones to the sky. Yeah. Move the backs of your thighs away from each other. Don't let your kneecaps turn in. Move your sitting bones away from each other. And then try to straighten out your legs from there. So you should be starting to access your hamstrings. Yes, no, maybe, yes. All right, breathe deeply. Good job, you guys. All right, we'll do one more part here. Just bring that right leg up and bend the knee in the air. And open your knee to the side. Okay, so keep your arms straight. Don't turn your chest. Keep the QL muscle in the back. You remember where that is, from the back of the hip to the bottom rib cage. Keep it strong and active. And turn your thighs so your right quad and kneecap points out to the right side, or maybe even turns to the ceiling. So turn it more, turn it more. So your foot goes more to the floor and the knee goes up. Yeah, like that. So even as you're doing that, you want to open your sitting bones, you want to pull the backs of the thighs away from each other, and you want to really lift those sits bones back. Breathe deeply. Nice. And then we'll step that leg in. So we'll come right up here, ground the back foot, and rise up into warrior 2. So you guys are in warrior 2, your right leg is front. Now check this out, you're still getting a hamstring stretch here. This knee should be in line with the foot, your knee shouldn't be turned in like that. So if it is and you can't adjust it, turn your foot so that the foot and the knee are in the same line. But your knee and your foot, your toes should be in the same line. Open up through the chest. Pull your sitting bones open. So as you come down here, sit bones open, backs of your thighs pull away from each other. You'll get even more into a stretch. QL muscle strong. Open through the chest. Turn your chin forward and reach that back arm back a little further. Just stretch the back arm back. Don't lean back yet. Just stretch the back arm back. So as the back arm is stretching back, you're gonna come forward. So keep pulling that back arm back and come forward inside the leg here. Slide down the block or the floor. Keep pulling that top arm all the way up. So you're opening your chest. Now open those sits bones. Keep that back muscle strong, core strong, and breathe in and out. Weights in the back leg, real good. And keep your legs like they're doing and keep pulling with your top arm as you come up. Pull with your top arm and come back up, and then pull your top arm back to your back leg. Pull. Pull back, pull back, pull back. And keep pulling with that back arm. Keep pulling downward with that back arm. Lean back so that back arm touches your back leg. And keep pulling back. Now again, sit into those sit bones. Open them up. Open the backs of your thighs. Keep the core strong. Breathe in and breathe out. Stay with it, you guys. And then rise up, rise up. All right, so we'll pivot to the front. And you're gonna just hop your back foot in just a little bit if you need it. I needed it. And you're gonna bring that left hand inside. And we're gonna come into our rotation. So you're gonna hug the belly in, sits bones open, lift this right arm up. So when you do this, you guys, you don't want your hip to go out to the side like that. You want to pull that right sitting bone right, but you got to pull that left sitting bone left. And you're right in the center. It'll give you that balance there at the back. You open the back of your thighs. You extend your neck. Come down into the inner groin. Thank you, Noreen. I don't know, is it? Maureen's the bird girl. Maureen, is that a hawk? Come into plank. I think it was an airplane. Come on down. Inhaling up. And exhale into downward dog. Reach it all the way back. All right. So you guys are finding that release at the shoulder blades where your outer rims of your shoulder blades move, you know, toward your wrists. You want to lift them. And the shoulder tops themselves move down and wide. Get those sit bones where they should be, legs wide, heels plugged down. Breathe in, breathe out. Beautiful. We'll lift that left leg up to the sky, bend that knee and open, but try not to turn your chest. So this is where the QL muscle we've been working on is part of your core. Back of the hips, back bottom of the ribs, super strong. And you keep turning your knee to the left. So your knee goes up higher to the sky and your foot goes down more to the floor. Head is down, chest is open. Breathing in, breathing out. So keep spinning that leg open, opening up your sit bones while you do this. All right, and then we'll move that leg in. Step it up, put warrior two on the side. Ground the back leg and rise up into warrior two. So you're gonna have that left foot forward. Yep. Hamstrings open. Just check your knee. Check this going on here, right? You always wanna have knee, ankle, foot in that alignment. So either move your foot or move your knee. And again, the sit bones open, back muscles strong, nice and strong. Thighs move away from each other. Open up, turn your chin to the front, right there. Pull with your back arm, but you're not leaning back right now. You're just pulling that back arm as much as you can. Keep pulling the back arm as you come down, forward. Keep pulling. So now that top arm pulls skyward, and that bottom arm is down. Yep. And you want to sit in your hamstring. So open your sit bones. Throat is open. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep your back nice and strong. And keep pulling with that top arm as you rise up. So your top arm is going to pull you. Your legs are going to stay stretching. Keep pulling that top arm all the way back and go back. Keep pulling it back and lean back. Keep pulling with that right arm. That one that's pulling you back. Open the sits bones, keep your core strong, press your thighs open, breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful. Let's release it down. Woohoo! I'm into plank. Did I do another one there? No, we twisted. Yes. Come in. Sorry. It was the hawk move. Okay, so right hand comes down. Back heel is still down. You're still stretching this open. Sit bones still open. So if you're not pulling your sit bones apart, you'll usually swing your hips all the way to one side. So you pull your left sitting bone left, your right sitting bone right. You separate the backs of your thighs. That front leg is bent. Chest on high. Hug into the groin. Suck into the belly. And breathe. Inhale. Exhale. And then come down into plank. Whew. All right, beautiful. Come all the way down. This time we rise up and lift up and tuck your chin into your chest. Bow the forehead down. Lifting up and turn your chin to the right. Try to move your chin behind your shoulder. Keep the core strong, legs and glutes active, and turn your chin to the left. Breathe deeply. Try to get the chin right behind the shoulder. Beautiful. Release it all the way back into downward dog. And we're coming into our hamstring tutorial. Yay! Pretty much everything I was talking about. So walk your feet to your hands. And you need at least one block in front of you. You need at least one. Does anyone have none? Right? I'm going to steal one. Here you go. And here you go. Sorry, I didn't play football. I would have taken. Oh, and you don't have one. Does anyone else have an extra? Thank you.
Here you go. You're welcome.
Cool. There you go. All right. So you're gonna have your feet hip width apart. Block's gonna be in front of you at its tallest height. Okay. So block in front of you at its tallest height. You're gonna do it in such a way that the block is gonna be in front of you, and you put your hands on the block, so it's gonna be out maybe 12 inches or more in front of you. Okay. So lean forward at your hips. Put your hands on your block. Yeah, there you go. And most of us, when we stretch the hamstrings, deny the hamstrings and we round the back, okay? So right now I want you to lift your back up so you're up as much as you can, and the knees can be a little bit bent, okay? Now most of us push the hips back to stretch the hamstrings, so I want you to keep moving forward with your hips. That's what the block is there for, so you don't fall on your nose. So keep moving your hips forward until your hips are over your ankles. You guys there yet? You gotta keep moving forward. It feels like if the block's not there, you're probably gonna fall forward. Okay, let's separate your feet. So you guys got that? Hips over ankles? Really fast. But this is how you access your hamstrings. This is like when we do the wide-legged one and this one. So if you don't understand some of the ones that I'm talking about, it can be a little confusing if you're not used to the way I say stuff, but just do your best here. After you move your hips over your ankles, you're gonna move the backs of your thighs like we've been doing away from each other, but don't turn your knees in. Don't turn your knees in. Just feel like the backs of your thighs are moving away from each other, yes? Okay. You're gonna feel like your sits bones and the backs of your thighs move away from each other. That is gonna open your hamstring to start. Now you're gonna lift your sitting bones to the sky. Can you do that? Yes? You can think about it though, right? So when the hamstrings move up to the sky, the backs of your thighs might start to move in toward each other. Don't let that happen. Backs of your thighs roll out, sitting bones to the sky. Now this is the tricky part. This is where you isometrically move your hamstrings, your sit bones to the floor. Isometric means it doesn't move, you just act like it's gonna move, okay? So even though the sit bones are moving physically up to the sky, you're gonna energetically push your sit bones down. Yes, no, maybe? You guys feel that? And what will happen when you do that is that all the glute muscles will start to fire, yes? You feel your bum a little bit more? Okay, so that is what you wanna think about when you're doing your hamstrings, a lot of stuff. Now from there, you can start to lower down if you have the range. Just don't move your hips backwards anymore. You can come all the way down. Just don't move your hips back. So again, these are your parts. Hips forward, backs of your thighs away from each other, sitting bones lift, and then isometrically move your sitting bones to the floor as you straighten out your legs. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale and exhale. All right. Beautiful. Let's rise up. So we're going to be doing that, hopefully, feeling that throughout a lot of our hamstring opening today. Lift up nice and tall. And again, when you lift your arms, you want right here, this outer edge of your shoulder blade to move open and up. So you're going to come over to the side and feel like that's lifting. If you don't know how to do it, grab it and move it. Just grab it and move it. If The person in front of you won't move. Push them. No. Because going shopping these days is like that. No, sorry. So you want to move this up. Yes? Kind of? Yeah. All right, so we're going to do the same thing, but keep that lifted. Don't let it drop down, okay? The shoulder here drops down. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you're going to move that open, lift it, and keep opening it. Breathe deeply. Beautiful. All right, we'll rise up and come into back bend. Reach up. This is where the QL muscle, strong. You're not collapsing into it. Legs are strong. Sit bones still open. You still feel like the backs of your thighs are pulling away from each other. And you can contract downward, right? At the back, bottom ribs, top of the hips. Stretch your belly more. The arms are overhead, so this is still lifted open. You're not pulling the shoulder blades down. Breathe in, breathe out. All right, open up, come all the way up. Come down into your deep fold now. Okay, here's where you get to practice your hamstring opening with your legs together. Hands behind the legs, hips forward, backs of your thighs away from each other, sitting bones to the sky, isometric contraction. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Shoulders down the back, yes. Head dangles down, good neck placement. So it's very soft, you're not forcing your head, you're just letting it hang down. Beautiful job, you guys. Let's come into halfway lift. And from our halfway lift, those hips should still be over the ankles. You should still be working those hamstrings. And then we'll come into the chair pose. And again, this is still like a slight stretch to the hamstrings. So you still pull your sit bones open. You still do the isometric contraction. You lift through the chest. And you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. All right, we're gonna come all the way down. Sit back into plank. Tip over to the left side and bring your top leg in front so your legs are staggered. So top leg is in front. Right, so that's your right leg is on top and in front of you. Yeah. Bottom leg is back. Yeah. So you're on your side feet, just kind of like a little staggered, right? You can still be on your yoga mat. And just squeeze your inner thighs together. Still feel your sitting bones open, backs of your thighs open, QL muscle strong in the back, core is strong. Lift as high as you can with your hips. Lift your side rib a little bit more. Lift your chest a little bit more. Lift your forehead from the ground for 3, stay strong, 2, and then you're gonna take that top leg and bring it up if you're able to and catch your foot and lift. This is your hamstring stretch. This is where your sit bones get to open. This is where your thighs get to spin away from each other. This is where all the magic happens. Magic. 2 and 1. Good. Let's release it down and come back to the other side. So if you cannot grab that foot, and we're doing that by the way, if you guys can't grab your foot like this and do it, you can also grab your knee or the back of your thigh and do it if you want to give it a try. Okay, so we'll come to the other side and your feet are staggered. Chest is open. Get your arms as strong as possible. Lift through the core. And again, recondition and reshape the way the muscles move. So sitting bones open, backs of your thighs away from each other. Back muscles strong, core strong. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Now lift your hips higher. Lift your waist higher. Chest higher. Forehead off the ground. Lift up at the eyes. All that stuff is lifting. Now we take that top leg up. And if you're doing it, you catch your big toe or your foot to the side and you lift your leg into a kick split. So this is your hamstring. Sitting bones open. Chest open. Breathe deep. And then release. Come back down into plank and all the way down to the ground. So from here, we'll bend the knees, and this is where we're shortening the hamstrings. I know, lots of work here, right? So backs of the knees and the heels come together. You're squeezing your sit bones physically now against your hamstrings, and the hamstrings pull up against the sitting bones. So you're really getting that nice tight seal. You're not lifting the sitting bones away anymore. Okay, if you can reach back, reach back. If not, grab your yoga strap and put the strap around your feet. So if you have your yoga strap, you just go like this. You come to kneeling and you put it around the front of your ankles and you bring the strap up next to you like this. And while everybody's doing this pose, you're just taking your time. Grabbing your ankles and pulling it in. All right, so don't let your knees go out to the side, just like the hamstring stretch, hamstring strength. Knees in line with the hips and the feet, so don't let your knees go out to the side. Just pull them in nice and strong. Make the strength of the, the hamstring and the glutes, and breathe deeply as you lift the backs of your knees up off the ground and toward your glutes. And then push your ankles up to the sky and push your shins away from you. And when you push your shins away from you, it lifts your chest up. So keep pushing your legs back and it'll lift your chest up. Use your legs to move your chest. Push your legs into your hands. Use your legs to kick back more. Yeah, and that'll lift your chest. Keep opening a little more. So glute strength. This is also contraction of the QL, so short back muscles for 3, 2, that's hard. Bug! 1. Ah, and release. Let's do spider pose. Come back into child's pose. Open up through the knees. Gotta love nature, Lisa. Gotta love it, love it, love it.
I don't want to get bit by one.
No, definitely not. Okay, so you guys are opening up your back, sitting bones wide, backs of your thighs away from each other. So see if you can feel that. Like if you want to apply your hamstring stretch to this, okay? So the backs of your thighs move away from each other. Your sitting bones move away from each other. And you pull your sitting bones back, like in downward dog. You're like tipping your sitting bones like up to the sky, even though you're pushing them downward toward the heels, okay? So you're bending those knees and you're opening up at the hip joint, breathing in and breathing out. Now we're going to take the arms as far to the right as you possibly can. I want you to go as far as you can, but keep that right hip down on that heel and go as far as you can there. This is going to stretch that QL muscle in the back. Let the shoulder relax. Keep breathing in, breathing out. Open up at the hip joint. And we're going to come all the way over to the other side. So we'll come right over and just get that nice reach as deeply as you can, you guys. Stretching that QL on your right side. Make sure your right sitting bone is down. Right, just keep opening up the sits bones. And 1, beautiful. Let's release it back into the center. I'm going to come back into downward dog. I'm going to work into a couple more standing postures here to help with the hamstring opening. So reach back again, open up your shoulders. Lift the right leg up and bend that knee in the air, just like you were doing bow pose. You're gonna squeeze glute and hamstring connection. So you're gonna bend your knee, but don't turn your knee to the side on this one. Yep. So just like you're doing bow pose. Really get that opening. Squeeze your bum as much as you can as you do that. Breathing in and breathing out. And then tuck that knee into the chest, step it forward, come into pyramid, so just quick pyramid posture here. So elongate. You guys want to organize your hips. You can use those yoga blocks. But again, you want to make sure that the hamstrings, the backs of the thighs spinning away from each other, but your kneecaps do not roll in. That is so important. Your sitting bones up to the sky. And then isometric contraction downward of the sit bone. And you should feel really strong around the joint of the hip as you bow down over that leg. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. I'm going to spin around and you're going to walk over to the left side. You're going to line open, walk your feet out to your distance. Make sure your feet are lined up with each other. And just like we did, without moving your hands out here, guys, keep your hands between your toe line. And move your hips over your ankles, just like we did in the standing forward bend with the blocks in front of us. Keep moving your hips over your ankles. So the hips keep moving forward. The legs are straight. The backs of the thighs spin away from each other. The hands are between your toe line or behind your toe line. So you want to try to get like that. Yep, you can reach back further. Yes. So backs of the thighs spin out, but don't let your kneecaps turn in. So you really got to do a lot of work there. Right, so as the sit bones go high, your isometric contraction downward of the sit bones, and go for it, you guys, for 3, for 2, and 1. Beautiful. Spin back to your pyramid position here and lunge forward. Turn this out. Come down into your lunge, and we're going to work into this stretch of the quadricep and the hip flexor of this back leg, okay? So you guys have this turned out here. You're pulling the backs of the thighs, sits bones open. If you're not pulling the sits bones open, you have a tendency to sag over to one side. So you want to keep that strength, backs of the thighs, sit bones open. You can put your right hand on the block or the floor and bend that left leg. How do we do that, Lorilla? You're going to squeeze the hamstring and that sit bone toward each other. Squeeze, 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 until you feel that stretch and that strength, and then you'll reach back, see if you can find that, and pull your foot toward your bum, so the heel goes to the bum. And you're gonna squeeze the back of the knee up into the glute. Keep your back strong, don't let it sag. This is key of that QL muscle. Keep squeezing that, sit bones open, isometric contraction, breathe in, breathe out. Nice. And then slowly release. Walk this foot across. So you walk that foot over. Are we there? And this knee is going to go where the foot was. So we bring it down. So you guys are going to use the toes of the back leg, right, back leg, to come out and down and try to get this leg into that pigeon pose position and stretch. This is where that sit bone information is handy. It's really handy. That right sitting bone cannot go to the left. This right sitting bone's got to pull to the right. You guys with me on that? Did you lose it? Did you already go to Lewis's? So open up the backs of your thighs. Pull them away from each other, both of them. Pull your sit bones open and then come forward. So guess what? That right sitting bone should be reaching back into the sky like you're doing downward dog. Are you feeling it?
Yeah.
Yes? Come down a little bit more. You're What's that?
I'm pretending a lot tonight.
Come all the way up, you guys. Woo, baby. All right, let's go back into downward dog. Reach, reach, reach. Now hollow out your belly. Awesome. Bring left leg up to the sky. You're sweating it out back there, Rhonda. You're in the sauna. Want to move to the shade, or are you good? Okay. Oh. Left leg bends in the air, so you're going to contract, isometric contraction, right? You're going to squeeze and contract a little more, so the heel comes in, back of the knee. You're squeezing hamstring and sit bone together. And just keep that kneecap nice and straight and strong as you breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful. All right, let's step that forward. Come all the way up with that. We're almost done with our hamstrings, guys, and then we'll give them a rest. So this is your pyramid position. You're going to organize your hips, okay, so that they're even with each other. Again, you pull the backs of your thighs away from each other. Pull the sit bones open. Your back and your core is strong. You tip your sit bone to the sky. Tip it skyward. And then isometric contraction as you fold down. Okay, so you breathe deeply. The isometric contraction will really help you to not tear into the tendons or the ligaments around the sit bones. Okay, so definitely good to keep that action, right? You're breathing deeply. Shoulders open. Inhale, exhale. And then we're going to crawl around again over to the side, and we'll face the other side. Walk your feet out to a further distance if you want, or a closer distance. Just do not let your kneecaps, do anything that they shouldn't be doing. Hips are forward. This time your hands are going to come forward all the way out, and your hips are going to go over your ankles, and your backs of your thighs move away from each other. We're getting it now, right? You know what I'm going to say, right? Sit bones up to the sky. Isometric contraction downward with the sit bone, and push your chest down. Breathe in, breathe out for 3. Awesome. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Come back in and turn to the front, and we're going to pivot around and just drop the back knee, and we're going to work into that contraction of the hamstring. Just let this hip open here. And again, if you kind of slow down and you just listen to the muscles, right? And you open the backs of the thighs away from each other, right? One to the right, one left, one to the left, sitting bones and everything. You could feel more stable, you know, hopefully you'll feel more stable. And then we're gonna work into this back leg here. So you're gonna contract that muscle and squeeze the back of the knee. Sit bone charges down, grab that foot, pull it in with the strap of your hand. But you know, you still wanna pull that right sitting bone right, left sitting bone left, while you're doing this, and keep contracting and breathing. Squeezing the glute. And one, beautiful. Let's let that go. And walking this foot over, across to the right. And let that knee and shin fall open. And again, you're gonna press back. Again, walk back. Do your best. You're gonna be up in the air. You can put the block under there, that's fine. But just try to get those backs of your thighs open. Sit bones open. Pull your left sitting bones skyward. Wouldn't that be awesome? If it would only listen. We are a tight-knit society, it's true. And then you start to come forward as you do that. So just slowly, mindfully, thinking about doing it the right way, right? Opening up that hip a little bit more. Breathing deeply. All right, and we're gonna roll to the side of your hip here and come out of that. Yahoo, and have a seat. Woo! Give those legs a little bit of a break. All right, get them nice and relaxed. And bring the hands back. Fingertips forward, chest is open. So you can do this with legs straight or bent for ramp pose. That's up to you. If you're gonna do straight legs, you just rise up like that. If you're gonna do bent, you lift up like that. Okay, so whichever one you wanna do. But you know, you guys wanna get those shoulders down the back. Hug the outer margins of your shoulder blades inward and downward. So you're pulling them inward and downward. You want to get the core strong, so remember those muscles in the back and the belly and the waist. You activate the glutes to lift the back rim of your hips up. Lift them, lift them. Breathe and breathe out. That's it. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Let's come and have a seat. Nice job, you guys. Bring the legs together, cross left ankle over right, and lift up through the chest. So you're gonna, again, activate that QL muscle. It's that muscle in your back that goes from the top of your hip to the bottom rib on the right side. Same thing on the left side. Keep it active and strong. Chest is lifted. Glutes, if you can find that isometric contraction at the sit bone, it's a good thing. You want to keep finding it. 2 and 1. And then you're going to keep them crossed. Bring your hands down and lift your feet and your bum up off the ground. Lift. Squeeze your belly. 2 and 1. And then release and cross the other ankle over and come up. And again, isometric contraction. There's a push at the sit bones without going anywhere. Right? And that builds your strength around the hip girdle. Lift up through the shins. Chest is open. Lift through the thoracic part of your spine. Lift, lift, lift. 2 and 1. Cross down again and lift up. Lift your feet and everything. 2 and 1. Beautiful job, you guys. All right. I'm going to flip over. We're just going to do quick on the belly for the chest and the shoulders. And this one's going to have a couple of different angle points to it for the bicep and the shoulders. You'll come on the belly and you'll have your right arm out to the side with your thumb up and your pinky down at about a 45. So when we do this, just watch what I do and don't do it. When we do this, to roll over like this, a lot of people do this because they think they're going to sleep. You want to keep the arm like that and go like this. Don't let that arm slide up, okay? So you keep that arm at that 45 and use this to keep that chest up and open as you lift over. Thumb is up, pinky side down. Okay, and you're breathing in and breathing out. And you want to keep stretching your bicep and your elbow and turning that arm and keep it straight. Inhale and exhale. Now your other arm can go up if you want. Your foot can go on the ground behind you if you want. But you want to breathe and feel the bicep stretch, the chest stretch. And if you can, let your head relax now on the floor. If you can. Breathe in, breathe out. A little more stretch, a little more squeeze at your upper back. Get rid of the troubles of the day, right? And then slowly let that go. Awesome. And we'll try the other side. So that was really good. So at this 45 up, again, try to get the edge of your pinky down, thumb is up, and be careful, keep the chest thrusted forward as you roll over it. So the arm doesn't slide, it doesn't move, right? You keep it in that stretch. And you should be feeling the bicep, yes? Shoulder, bicep, chest. Should be feeling that. Leg is up in the air or over and on the floor if you want to. Arm can go up if you want to. And then let your head rest on the floor or the block and breathe in, breathe out. Keep pulling that thumb up and out, like hitchhiker thumb. Keep turning it back. For 3, keep stretching. 2, and 1. Beautiful. Let's unwind that. That was really great, you guys. All right, so we'll come up into the kneeling and you'll cross the right elbow under the left like this. So right elbow under left like this. Yep, because this is the first part to it. Right under left. Yep, and then when you come forward, you're gonna have your elbows on the floor and the forearms on the mat. Walk your knees back. And then just pull your hips back so that your elbows start to move forward or away from your hips. Now, if you feel something funky at your shoulders, I wouldn't go any further. But just do your best to move your elbows toward the head as your hips go back. Neck and jaw relaxed. Just keep softening the neck, the jaw, and the tops of the shoulders as you make progress. Make a little more progress. Awesome. And then let that go. Walk your knees back in if you need to, and then come up and unwind. Woohoo! Roll the shoulders back. Awesome. And we'll do the other side. So left elbow under right, just lined it up. Okay, and you'll get the elbows down, forearms down. And then you start to walk your knees back, and you're moving your body back, your hips, your waist, everything. And your elbows are going up. Now again, keep feeling the lift as you breathe in, breathe out. Unlock your shoulders. Or just soften and relax and let some opening happen. Awesome. And then slowly release and walk it right back in. Woo, very nice, you guys. Roll those shoulders out. Very good. Okay, we're gonna work into rotation here, seated, lying down, rotation. First one, you'll have your right knee right in front of you. It's pointing right in front of you, okay? So it's not off to the side like that. So right knee in front of you, right foot by your left hip, and then that other foot's gonna come over, left foot's gonna come over, yeah. Now, again, what have we learned today about the sits bones? Lots of things. Backs of your thighs pull away from each other, sit bones open, and you should feel your sit bones on the ground evenly as you open. Yes, no, maybe, kind of? Yeah. All right, so you're holding onto the legs while you manipulate that hamstring tightness to go away by opening up your sit bones, okay? So you squeeze the belly in. And that's like where you start your foundation for your twist, okay? So you lift up the thoracic part of your spine, that QL muscle is strong, waist is strong. You're gonna take that right arm up and lift that shoulder. You're gonna bring the elbow or the arm to the outside and straight down. Bring the other arm back, lift thoracic spine, twist from the base of your spine, step on that left foot, big toe, hug the knee in. So this arm is helping you to squeeze the knee in. You're turning pubic bone into that hip, sitting bones wide, lift thoracic part of your spine. Use that hand on the ground behind you to keep lifting your spine up and lean toward your legs more with your body. Lean toward your legs more for 3. Squeeze deep in the belly. 2. 2, open the shoulders, and 1. Woo. Very nice. Just pile that top knee on top of the bottom one. Again, sit bones open, hips open, and come forward. So let the back relax, let the shoulders relax, and let the head and neck come down. So let your head drop, let your neck drop, let your chest drop, let your shoulders drop, and breathe in, breathe out. Sides of your feet relax on the floor. 2. That's it, and 1. Nice. All right, let's let that go. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So you'll have that left knee right in front and that right one over. And again, you can kind of lift up your hips a little bit to turn it, but you want to get the backs of your thighs away from each other. Sit bones open. And use your feet to kind of help you to do that. Okay, so you want to feel your sit bone on the ground, the right one and the left one, and feel them open. You can practice that isometric contraction if that helps you, right? Sometimes it gets a little confusing when you're in a different position. And we'll take this left arm up, 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 and bring it all the way over. Use that right hand behind you on the ground. Keep pulling that right knee in. Step on your right foot. Hug into the groin. Pull open your base. Lift the chest. Lean toward your legs. And twist a little bit more. As you breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Great. Woohoo! Unwind and just take this top leg and let your knee rest on top here. Let the feet come down. Yeah, and just come forward. Again, hips open. Back opens. All right, so just come right down. Yep, find a way to do it. Whatever works for you works for me. Which this way? Oh, it's going that way? Oh, I didn't even see that. But you would rest your side of your foot down like that. Can you do it? And then just lean forward. Just come forward. All right, you guys, let's come down on the back. Woo! Good stuff. Okay, so we're going to be down on our back and just kind of tuck the knees in and do a quick little rolling through the back here. All right, so you're rocking side to side. We're going to do a couple of different twists here on the back. Very good for the tummy. It's easier to twist your spine when your hamstrings are loose and relaxed and the sit bones are open. So you might find that as you're doing this and adding into it what we've been doing, might feel better on your back. But as always, activate your core. So remember that QL muscle in your back is active and strong. You're breathing in and breathing out. And we'll cross the right thigh over the left and hug the knees in. Remember, you're pulling those sitting bones away from the hamstrings, but they're isometrically contracting. All right, so the legs are going to go to the left, right? And the arms are going to go to the right. So you want to keep the core strong as you do this. Draw that navel in, lift through the top of the spine. And see if you can keep opening up the backs of your thighs and your sitting bones and keep adding that value to your stretch. Okay, so chest is lifted, neck is relaxed, breathing in and breathing out. Get a little bit more of a rotation at your sacrum, at the pelvis, the pelvic floor. And then when you're ready, come up and just bring your legs to the other side. So this is going to be an outer hip, but a little bit more of a stretch. So the right leg is still over it. You're just bringing the legs over and using that right leg to stretch that outer hip on that left side. So the arms are going to go like cactus arms or straight out like a T. But again, you want to make sure that your core is active. So get those rib cage to be nice and sturdy, your pelvis to be nice and sturdy as you're opening up the hamstrings, glutes with this stretch. Jaws relaxed, getting rid of any tension from the body. Awesome. All right, let's come on in and we'll take left over right here. And again, come into the center, grab those legs and pull them in. See on this one, this is where we'll sometimes pull the sitting bones toward the knees. You know, you want to pull the sit bones like in downward dog, like away from the hamstrings, but do that isometric contraction. So you're trying to get open as you're doing this. Awesome. And the legs are going to go to the right, so over to the right, and the arms are going to go to the left. So this is our twist for the torso twist here. Legs to the right, sit bones open, backs of your thighs wide. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep the navel drawn in and up. Do your best, everybody. And then when you're ready, come on up, and we'll bring the legs to the other side. Arms can be out like a T. Just use that top leg to pull that bottom thigh over and across, maybe even bringing the knee in a little bit more. But again, keep the core strong, so you don't want those bottom ribs to start to get loose. You want to keep them toned. You want to keep them, you know, very firm and stable as you're working at the pelvic floor. Breathing in, breathing out. All right. Let's take it to a quick bridge pose. All right, so feet are going to be flat. And the arms are going to come by your side, shoulders wide. You're going to take your tongue and put it at the roof of your mouth, right at your palate. And that's going to help you to kind of stabilize through the head and the neck. So tongue at the roof of your mouth. I also do this when I'm with my family and I don't want to say something that I shouldn't say. Knees bent, lift your hips up, and you're going to squeeze the sit bones to the hamstrings, hamstrings to the sit bones. Yeah, there you go. Open up your hips and thighs. That's it. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Join your hands together in a fist underneath you. Pull your fists toward your feet. Or some of you guys can grab the front of your ankles and pull your chest open. Keep the tongue at the palate. And keep stretching from knees to palate, like keep pulling that way. Glutes active, you guys. Squeeze that high part of your bum. And then when you come down, you're going to release the hands, release the chest, release the waist, then release the hips and uncurl. And use your yoga strap. Everybody grab your strap and put it right around your right foot. We're just going to do this outside leg stretch and see if it feels a little different, if you can manipulate it a little bit more with the backs of the thighs and the sit bones and all that good stuff. So your left leg is going to come down, right leg is up. The two straps are in your right hand. Before you do anything else, you guys, get your hips in line with your ankle. Okay, so left hip in line with left ankle, right hip in line with right ankle. Pull the backs of your thighs away from each other, open your sit bones, and pull that right sitting bone like you're in downward dog, like toward the floor, but that isometric contraction, and then you move the leg out to the side. So you're pulling the backs of your thighs away from each other, you're opening your sits bones, and you're getting that stretch. And this works into the inner thigh, but also inner hamstring. So see if you can open a little bit more, right to left, and keeping your back and core active. Now, if you put your tongue to the roof of your mouth again, you can turn your head to the left. Through the strength. Your tongue is really strong. It'll help you to turn your head. And then release it back into the center, right back up, and we'll try the other side. Right. So bring that left leg up, right leg out. And again, before you do anything else, just align your hip with your ankle, left one and right one. Okay? You want to keep that alignment. Pull the backs of your thighs away from each other. Sit bones active. Left sit bone goes toward the floor, but you got that isometric contraction going. And then you'll bring your leg out to the side. So we want to get that good opening here. Again, you're pulling the backs of your thighs away from each other. So if you're not pulling that right leg, you're going to fall to the left. You want to keep the stretch, the pull. Keep that tone, right? If you do the isometric contraction, you'll feel the tone. And again, if you want to do the head turn, tongue to the roof of the mouth, turn your head to the right. Beautiful. All right. Let that all go. Let that all in. And just elevate through the legs. Use the yoga block under your hips here. Just roll the ankles around. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the belly relax. Head, neck, and shoulders relax. Ooh, feels good over here. Just take a few moments here, relaxation in this elevation. Awesome. And then when you're ready, bring your legs right down to the ground, practicing Shavasana together, where you bring your legs wider than your hips, your arms out to the side, palms up, head rolls back, eyes closed.